If you love a good book about someone being scammed and it's written to the point where it seems very, very touching, this book will do it for you. Okay, it is titled The King of Dreams. It is by Christie Thompson. The book is 29 pages. You can listen to it with the Amazon Kindle Unlimited Read and Listen program. I absolutely feel like this is one of those books where I will never forget it. It is in the categories of 45-minute biography and memoir, shorts, political and social sciences, as well as Kindle singles, political and social sciences. The book came out May 30th of 2019. It was on my to be read list for a minute, but I finally got to it. This is the story of an unforgivable con man. Vulnerable families were his prey. His promise was an impossible dream and a lie. Peter Candlewood understood the system. That's how he could compute prison sentences and reunite helpless families with incarcerated loved ones for a price, except there was no Candlewood, no hope, just a lowly Texas con artist who bet on the desperate and won. And he wasn't working alone. The multi-million-dollar deception cost the betrayed more than their savings. This man really used to tell people, I understand that your family member is incarcerated and they're looking at facing 15 to 20 years. If you hire me, I can work with informants and we can develop a case so that the state can basically pick it up. And if you help by hiring these informants, it can help reduce your judgment, your sentence. Okay? Basically help pay to build up a case and help to investigate, pay for these detectives to be able to investigate. And it'll help us to be able to free your family member because it can get them a reduced sentence and you might even be able to get released. There is something about preying on people's hopes and dreams. Not only was the con successful, this shit went on for years. He had a LLC for the business. He had secretaries. He had people working up underneath him. Every single layer that you need to develop trust in someone was there. He's having people give reviews that are in prison saying, hey, he helped work on my brother's case. Now he's working on mine. He helped my brother get 30 years off his sentence. He can do the same thing for you. These people were not only paying him, they done developed a support group where they're all meeting up and they're helping each other to stay strong. And all right, he's working on my case. What developments has he did for your case, whatever. This man would tell them like it's a $2,000 retainer fee just for me to get started. It's a $5,000 fee just for me to dig and get more information. When they're like, oh, it's been 2 years, but it's taking so long. Well, it takes a long time to build these cases. And sometimes the governor, the government isn't accepting this and that. It was to the point where by the time this man got caught, not only had he collected millions of dollars, the people who trusted him when they found out it was a con, they had a hard time trusting people after. They had a hard time trusting people. They had a hard time trusting the government. They had a hard time trusting the system because instead of directly blaming the man Peter, you're blaming the system that almost kind of made it possible. Now it's not like everybody that was that they were trying to free was not guilty of their crimes. You had one that had, I believe, child porn on their laptop, so they needed to sit there. Okay, they needed to sit there, and not to say it that way, but the way I kind of feel is like the fact that y'all were trying to free someone that had child porn on their tablet, however many millions of dollars y'all lost, you deserve that. Because that man don't need to be out here in society with our children. He just doesn't. So that's on you. I don't know. There was a woman where up until her being on her deathbed, she kept sending money and kept telling her kids, like, I'm working on something. Wouldn't tell them specifically. Kept saying she was investing money. Like, this is an investment that I'm working on. Once I pass away, make sure you guys keep going so that everything I did wasn't, lost. This was one of those stories where you really kind of afterward, and again, I think it was only how many? It's only 29 pages. After you get done reading this, you're gonna need a break for a minute because it really just shows you how far people will go when they're desperate, in a good way and a bad way. I felt horrible for these families when they were testifying in court and saying the aftermath that occurred. Read the book. Read the book. Because when you see how many years this man got after, it's going to blow your mind. I'll leave it at that. It's going to blow your mind. This book is a part of the exposure collection. I'm checking now to see. I actually did read one book in this series already. It was called The Officer and the Entrepreneur by Dan Slater. I'm still going to check out the rest of these books as well because all of them seem to be shorter reads. I enjoy short reads. I enjoy short stories. I'm sorry. I absolutely love them, especially when they're available on Kindle Unlimited. I don't need all of those 400-page books. That's not always for everybody. So I love when authors partner together. I'm not sure how Amazon does it, how they come up with who's going to be on these collections. Thank you to everyone who does participate in these because it means a lot to people like me who like to hear something that grabs my attention and it just draws me in. So, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, follow button. I drop book reviews several times a week. I even have video TBRs of books that are on my to be read list, books that I'm excited about, just everything bookish and nerdy, pretty much. I do still have a book that is for free on Amazon, Barnes& Nobles, Kobo, and many other platforms. It is titled My Favorite Ex. I am also still available for you to hire me to be a book promoter for you or to create a video book review of a book that you have put out there. So you can find my services at alzabrooks.com. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.